So in this worksheet, you have to implement the bubble sort algorithm, and we know how to sort lists, right? We have seen there's a sort function. You can do list.sort or sorted function, but obviously what the more important question. So there's obviously an algorithm involved in the sorting functions, right? That is more important. How do you sort a list, or how do you sort a sequence of numbers? And these are the type of questions that you will be asked in interviews, right? It's very rare for someone to ask you, okay, how do you sort a list? What is the syntax in Python? Because syntax can be looked up, but the algorithm is the tricky part. So when you go for interviews in Google or Facebook, they ask you algorithms. And so you need to practice. Learning a programming language will not make you good in the algorithms. Algorithms is like math. And the more you practice, the more the skills in algorithms develop. And that's why algorithms are an important part of your of your major. So in this algorithm, you're gonna sort a list, right? And there are a lot of algorithms to sort lists. This is just one of the algorithms. And in this algorithm, I'm just gonna go over an example, and then you can try writing a program. And so you can easily find the solution to this online, but I would suggest make sure you give it a good try before. I would suggest don't even look it up, because I'm going to post the solution anyways, most likely over the weekend. But spend some time. If it takes more time, don't worry about it. If you don't submit it by 5 p.m., don't worry about it. Friday, you can delay it, because the more important thing is that you solve this yourself. Okay, so I'm just going to go through this. So this is straight out of Wikipedia. So if you, let's say, have a list or sequence of numbers that you have to sort, so this is your numbers, right? So what this algorithm does is it basically starts comparing consecutive numbers, right? And so it will start comparing 1 and 5, and then if 5 is greater than 1, it's gonna swap the two. So there's a swap that took place over here, right? And then it compares the next set of numbers. So it takes this list, right, and it's going to compare these two numbers, right? And then it's again swapping the two, because 5 is greater than 4, right? And it's again swapping the next two, so because 5 is again greater than 2, and so it keeps on doing that. So this is the first pass. It goes to the end of the list, and then it goes to it starts from the beginning. So this gives you a hint that they're like that they're nested. You need a nested loop over here, right? Two loops, 2 for loops. And then what you do is you're gonna start from the beginning again. So you take this list, right, and then do the second pass. Start from the beginning of that list, because you have reached the end of this pass. So you go to the beginning, and then compare the two. If there is no, if 1 is less than 4, you don't do the swap, so you don't see anything over here. Whenever there's a swap, it's gonna mention over here that there's a swap that took place. So it's still gonna go to the end to make sure that everything is in order. And so there's a last pass that takes place in which nothing happens, right? So that's sort of like a flag that can tell you if there's no swap that takes place, then it means that the list is sorted. So that can be a flag that you can introduce in your program to make sure that that you end the loop over here, or end the comparison over here whenever whenever there is no swapping take place, whenever there's no swap that takes place. Okay. So I have another example over here that I did for my program. So I want, it's optional, but I want you to format the output this way, where you basically print out whenever there's this swap that's taking place. So you can see we start out with this list, and then 5 and 13. 13 is greater than 5, so we swap 5 and 13. And so I've printed this out over here, right? And then there's again the next comparison. There's nothing happens in that comparison, and then after that 20 and 2 are compared, and so there's a swap that takes place, and that's it prints it out. So whenever there's a swap taking place, you can print out that it took place. So here's in the next step also 20 and 9 they were swapped, and then so I'm done. So I'm done over the pass. I'm calling it step. So this is step 1 is done. So in the second step, you can call it pass or step, whatever you prefer. So you can see 2 and 13 are swapped, 9 and 13 are swapped, and then in the third swap, 2 and 5 are swapped, and then in the fourth one is just the swap where nothing is swapped, and the step where nothing is swapped. So you basically stop the comparison after that and then print out the sorted list. Okay, so go ahead and try this and give it your best shot. Again, as I said, I'm grading the worksheets on your attempts, not on the correctness, because I'm going to post the solutions later. So it's better that the best thing is that you give it your best try, and then don't worry about getting it wrong, because then you won't learn if you just look it up. Okay.